I'm telling you this story because even today, my hands still tremble when you remember it. This isn't just some rumor or a campfire tale. I lived through it myself. A few years ago, I took a job working the night shift at an old government hospital on the edge of the city. Everyone I knew warned me about the place. They said it was cursed, that strange, unexplainable things happened so after midnight. I just laughed it off. I was a practical person, and I told them fear only lives in your mind. I was so wrong. That first night, I was completely alone on my floor. It was around 2 in the morning, and the hospital corridors were silent. But it wasn't a peaceful silence. It was the kind of quiet that feels heavy, like it's pressing down on your chest, making it hard to breathe. The only sound was the big wall clock, and its ticking echoed down the hallway like footsteps getting closer. Suddenly, I heard a sound. It was coming from the intensive care unit. It sounded like someone was crying, very softly. My first thought was that it must be a patient in distress. So I walked towards the ICU, my own footsteps seeming way too loud in the stillness. When I got to the entrance and I looked inside, every single bed was empty. There were no more patients, no more other staff, just rows of empty beds. Yet, the curtains around one of the beds were swaying gently, as if someone had just walked past. There was no more wind. The windows were all sealed shut. A cold chill shot through my entire body. I decided I'd had enough and I turned to leave. That's when I saw my reflection in the glass of the ICU door. But it wasn't just my reflection. The shadow standing behind me. It wasn't mine. It moved a split second after I did, almost like it was mimicking me, but with a mind of its own. My body froze solid. I couldn't move, couldn't breathe. Then I heard a voice right behind my ear. It was burnt, dry, and broken, like grinding stones. It rasped, "Why did you come here?" I gathered every ounce of courage I had and I slowly, very slowly, turned around. A patient was standing, sir, just a few feet away, but his feet weren't touching the floor. He was hovering just above it. His face was a sickly pale color, and his eyes were completely black, like deep, empty pits. His mouth, it looked like it had been crudely stitched shut. A foul smell, like decay and the old earth, filled the air around him. He tried to scream, but my throat was tight, and no more sound came out. He drifted closer, his black eyes fixed on me, and he whispered again, the sound seeming to come from inside my own head. "We were left here, forgotten. Now you can see us." At that exact moment, every light in the hospital went out. I was plunged into total, suffocating darkness. I felt something grab my wrist. It was cold, lifeless, and impossibly strong, like the hand of a corpse. Then, nothing. The next thing I knew, I was opening my eyes to the harsh morning light. I was lying on the pavement outside the main hospital entrance. A small crowd of people was standing over me, their faces a mix of concern and curiosity. But here's the part that still haunts me, the part that makes my blood run cold whenever I think about it. Wrapped around my wrist, written in what looked like dried blood, was an old patient identification number. Even now, all these years later, whenever night falls, I sometimes hear the distant sound of a hospital bell ringing. And they are still, sir, waiting for the next person who doesn't believe. Thanks for listening. If you have a story of your own, share it in the comments. And don't forget to subscribe for more true stories.